Mini project on extract, transform, load by KARTHIKEYAN P and SHARAD Kant. What is ETL? ETL is a process that extracts the data from different source systems, then transforms the data, and finally loads the data into a data warehouse system. Full form of ETL is extract, transform, and load. It is tempting to think creating a data warehouse is simply extracting data from multiple sources and loading into database of a data warehouse. This is far from the truth and requires a complex ETL process. The ETL process requires active input from various stakeholders including developers, analysts, testers, top executives, and is technically challenging. In order to maintain its value as a tool for decision makers, data warehouse system needs to change with business changes. ETL is a recurring activity of a data warehouse system that needs to be agile, automated, and well documented. Why do we need ETL? There are many reasons for adopting ETL in the organization. It helps companies to analyze their business data for taking critical business decisions. Transactional database cannot answer complex business questions that can be answered by ETL example. A data warehouse provides a common data repository. ETL provides a method of moving the data from various sources into a data warehouse. As data source change, the data warehouse will automatically update. Well-designed and documented ETL system is almost essential to the success of a data warehouse project. Allow verification of data transformation, aggregation, and calculation rules. ETL process allows sample data comparison between source and the target system. ETL process can perform complex transformations and requires the extra area to store the data. ETL helps to migrate data into a data warehouse, convert to the various format and types to other to one consistent system. ETL is a predefined process for accessing and manipulating source data into target database. ETL in data warehouse offers deep historical context for the business. It helps to improve productivity because it codifies and reviews without a need for technical skills. This is the block diagram of ETL process. Oracle database, SQL Server, Teradata, flat file, everything combined into staging area, then goes to data warehouse. Extraction. In this step of ETL architecture, data is extracted from the source system into the staging area. Transformations, if any, are done in staging area so that performance of source system is not degraded. Also, if corrupted data is copied directly from the source into data warehouse database, rollback will be a challenge. Staging area gives an opportunity to validate extracted data before it moves into data warehouse. Data warehouse needs to integrate systems that have different DBMS, hardware, operating systems, and communication protocols. Sources could include legacy applications like mainframes, customized applications, point of contact device like ATM, call switches, text files, spreadsheet, ERP, data from vendors, partners, amongst others. Hence, one needs a logical data map before data is extracted and loaded physically. This data map describes the relationship between source and target data. Three data extraction methods: full extraction, partial extraction without the update notification, partial extraction with update notification. Irrespective of method used, extraction should not affect performance and response time of the source systems. The source systems are alive production databases. Any slowdown or locking could affect company's bottom line. Some validations are done during extraction. Reconcile records with source data. Make sure that no spam or unwanted data are loaded. Data type check. Remove all types of duplicate or fragmented data. Check whether all the keys are in place or not. Transformation. Data extracted from source server is raw and not usable in its original form. Therefore, it needs to be cleansed, mapped, and transformed. In fact, this is the key step where ETL process adds value and changes data such that insightful business intelligence report can be generated. It is one of the most important ETL concepts where you can apply a set of functions on external data. Data that does not require any transformation is called as direct move or pass-through data. In transformation step, you can perform customized operations on data. For instance, if the user wants sum of sales revenue which is not in the database, or if it is the first name and the last name in a table in different columns, it is possible to concatenate them before loading. Following the data integrity problems. Different spelling of the same person like John, John, etc. There are multiple ways to denote company name like Google and Google Incorporate. Following are data integration problems. different spelling of the same person like John, Jon, John, John, etc. There are multiple ways to denote company name like Google, Google Inc. Use of different names like in some data required file names blank. Validation done during the Validations are done during the stage. Filtering using roots and lookup tables for data standardization. Character set conversion, conversion of units of measurements, data threshold validation check, data flow validation from the staging area to the intermediate tables. Requireable should not be left blank. Cleaning, transporting rows and columns. Use lookups to merge data. Loading. Loading data into the target data warehouse database is the last step of ETL process. In a typical data warehouse, huge volume of data needs to be loaded in a relatively short period. Hence, load process should be optimized for performance. In case of load failure, recover mechanism should be configured to restart from the point of failure without data integrity loss. Data warehouse admins need to monitor, resume, cancel loads as per prevailing server performance. Types of loading. Initial load, populating all the data warehouse tables. Incremental load, applying ongoing changes as when needed periodically. Full refresh, erasing the contents of one or more tables and reloading with fresh data. Load verification, ensure that the key field data is neither missing or not null. Test modeling is based on the target tables. Check that combined values and calculated measures. Data checks in dimension table as well as history table. Checks the business intelligence report on the loaded fact and dimension table. Best practice ETL process. Following are the best practices of ETL process steps. Never try to clean all the data. Every organization would like to have all the data clean, but most of them are not ready to wait or not ready to wait. To clean it all would simply take too long, so it is better not to try to cleanse all the data. Never cleanse anything. Always plan to clean something because the biggest reason for building a data warehouse is to offer cleaner and more reliable data. Determine the cost of cleansing the data. Before cleansing all the dirty data, it is important for you to determine the cleansing cost for every dirty data element. To speed up query processing, have auxiliary views and indexes. To reduce storage cost, storage summarize data into disk tapes. Also, the trade-off between volume of data to be stored and its detailed usage is required. Trade-off at the level of granularity of data to decrease the storage cost. Now let's see the code. The data used. Dealership data contains CSV, JSON, XML files for used car data, which contain features named car model, year of manufacture, price, and fuel. So we are going to extract the file from raw data and transform into target file, load into the output. This is how we. Let's go. Let's see the code. We're importing pandas, datetime, and globe. Is the code for extracting CSV file. This is the code for JSON file. Let's run it. It is the code for extracting CSV file. You can print the data. It is the code for extracting JSON file, and it is appending. We are appending both CSV and JSON file in single element extracted data, and we are going to print the two. It is the code for transform data, and we also print that. It is the code for load. It is the code for log messages. We are going to create a text file so that at what time it starts and what time it ends, we are going to that log message in the text file itself. We can run it. Just run it. I will run this one. Run it. Extract code. Just run it once more. Transform. Just run it. Load. Just run it. Log message. Just run it. Now I'm going to start the process. It will just extract the data. Just run it. This is from CSV file. This is from JSON file, and it is the extracted data. What is the error? Extract data. Extract from XML is not defined. Okay, this one. Just run it and then come and run once again. No error. Then transform data. This is the transform data. That prices are converted to two decimals, and then we are loading the transform data into our log file dealership. Just run it, and the ETL job ended. Now go to our dealership log txt file. Open. Then we can see here that transformed data are logged in dealership log file.txt. You can see here that the process start on 3:34 p.m. 3:34 p.m. 15:34 June 2003. Load phase ended. Start on 9 seconds in on 12 seconds. 3:34 12 seconds. Okay. ETL job inlet. We can change this code little bit, then we can see it clearly. We can give some line transform of backslash n. We can put a line backslash n. Okay. Backslash n, backslash n, backslash n. ETL job into backslash n. Now let's run the code. ETL job started. Okay. Backslash n. Extract phase. Okay. Now let's one more time. ETL just okay. Okay. Just run it. Okay, then we should convert let this to this backslash n. That also not working. Okay. We can .txt load. Okay, we can. It is file name, na? Why we should give new line? Then end job. Okay, now we can see our leadership data. See this. It is na. Come on another line. 15:36:11 June 4 2003. Load phase ended 15:36 14 seconds June 4 2003. ETL job ended. That's it. Thank you.